All right, welcome. Today we're going to dive into a really strange and honestly kind of unsettling story. It's a medical mystery, but it's told from a very personal and very peculiar perspective.
So, our story kicks off with this single, incredibly powerful clue. A 7-year-old boy, he looks in the mirror and sees an old man staring back at him. And get this isn't just some feeling he has. No, this is the physical reality he lives with every single day. So right off the bat, we've got this living paradox. A child, but with the face and the frailty of someone who's lived a long, hard life. So what does that actually look like? Let's break it down. Okay, the physical details here they're really striking. The face isn't just old, it's described as pale and wrinkled. His weakness is so extreme that his neck can barely even hold up his head. The description is like a bowling ball on a straw. Just imagine that. And his skin, it hangs in these loose, flabby folds, almost like a suit that's suddenly way too big for the body inside. All right, let's keep going, because you'll see this builds. The physical contradictions, they go way deeper than just the face. The real heart of this mystery is all about the body's strange relationship with food. And this is where we get to this central enigma. I mean, this kid has a ravenous, just an insatiable hunger. He eats everything put in front of him, but instead of gaining weight, he's actually losing flesh every day. Think about that. The fuel's going in, but the engine is just sputtering and shrinking. It makes absolutely no logical sense.
You know, the pattern of how he's wasting away is a huge clue in itself. It's not happening all over his body uniformly. No, it's most pronounced in his lower body, starting with his legs until they become what's described as mere sticks. This specific detail, this kind of bottom-up pattern, that is a critical piece of the puzzle right there.
But it's not just the physical stuff. The emotional state of this child is just as perplexing and, honestly, disturbing. This isn't just a story about physical suffering. It's also the story of a really troubled mind. So this physical ailment is accompanied by this dark emotional cloud. The child is described as irritable, cross, despondent, and even prone to violent and cruel impulses. He apparently even expresses a desire to do something inhuman. This emotional turmoil is absolutely as much a key symptom as the wrinkled face or the wasting legs.
Okay, now we get to one of the weirdest parts of this whole case. A totally bizarre pattern of alternating symptoms. It's almost as if the body can only handle one major problem at a time, so it just swaps them back and forth.
You can see an almost mechanical relationship here between his gut health and his joint pain. So first, he suffers from terrible diarrhea. But then, the second that suddenly stops, boom, the misery gets swapped for something else, an agonizing flare-up of rheumatism in his joints. One problem just vanishes, only to be replaced by the next.
And this isn't just a one-off thing. His whole system seems to be in this constant state of flux, just trading one misery for another. His gut swings like a pendulum, back and forth between constipation and diarrhea. Colic in his stomach leads to painful cramps in his limbs. An evening fever is followed by just great weakness. It's just a relentless, vicious cycle of shifting symptoms.
So we've looked at all the clues, right? The appearance, the wasting, the mood, these weird swaps. So what in the world could possibly connect all of this? It seems like a totally impossible collection of symptoms that have nothing to do with each other.
But when you lay all the symptoms out together like this, a pattern starts to become a little clearer, even if the cause is still a total mystery. We have this really distinct set of clues: the old man face, the crazy metabolism, that dark emotional state, and of course, the strange swapping of physical pains. And that really is the central question, isn't it? Is there some single thread that can tie all of these strange, seemingly unrelated things together? I mean, is this one single, unified condition? And if it is, what is it? Okay, and here is the reveal. This isn't the story of a real, literal child. Old-faced Abe is actually a personification. It's a story that was created to represent this whole collection of symptoms, all associated with a specific homeopathic remedy called Abrotanum. See, in homeopathy, remedies are chosen based on how well a person's symptoms match the remedy's symptom picture. And Abrotanum, well, that comes from the Southernwood plant. So this table here, it really summarizes everything perfectly. The whole story we just heard is basically a mnemonic device. It's what's called a symptom portrait, and it's designed to help people remember a really complex set of indicators. Every single part of Abe's story, The old face, the wasting legs, that cruel disposition, the swap from diarrhea to joint pain, each one is a keynote indicator for this specific profile.
So what's the takeaway here? Well, it really shows you how storytelling can be an incredibly powerful tool for memory, for education. Instead of just trying to memorize a dry list of symptoms, this narrative creates a memorable character whose life story is the medical profile. It's pretty clever, right?
And we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. The story of Old-Faced Abe is for sure a clever narrative device, but it's built on a pretty fascinating premise that gets right to the heart of homeopathy, which is this: how can the profile of a plant, in this case Southernwood, so closely mirror such a specific and complex picture of human suffering? It's definitely a question worth pondering.